Hi, Joe for GoonerTube. Aston Villa doing a job on Arsenal tonight, winning 3-0 at the Emirates against the Arsenal. And I'm joined by Chris. Chris, your thoughts on, I mean, we were texting backwards and forwards at one point, and you were telling me something about what you felt needed to happen up front. But so we'll start with that. But overall, after that, you can tell me what you thought of the display and how you thought Villa managed to do such a good job on us. But this stuff up front you're talking about, what was that?
So straight away, I sort of thought with Willian and Lacazette playing up in the three, they're not interchangeable. So you automatically know that Lacazette's not going to move from that central play. He's got nowhere else to go. He can't push left or right. So I feel like having Aubameyang up front instead and having someone else on the wing would benefit us. I mean, Willian is not looking great at the moment either. I don't really know what's going on with him. He started off, I thought he slotted in quite well into the team. But I think Pepe at the moment deserves a chance as well. So maybe Pepe on the right, Saka on the left, Uber up front. I think that's what we need to start doing.
But Uber definitely up the middle is what you're saying.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, he scores goals, doesn't he? I mean, I think he's had not even a shot on target, I don't think, since the penalty in the Sheffield United game.
Yeah, it's ironic, isn't it? And he hasn't scored at home either. So, it can be a little bit worrying. I mean, what do you think? So what do you think, based on that, what do you think Arteta needs to do now?
I think he definitely needs to push Aubameyang in the middle. I mean, it's the only way we can go. Lacazette, I mean, he had not an easy chance today with the header, but it was a chance. And the only thing he seems to do now is hold the play up. He doesn't seem to get into the box and score those goals. I mean, Nketiah, he looks quite lively, especially in the European games. He's not. I can't ever see him, bringing in 20 goals a season, but even give him more of a chance, get him some game time, because it's the only way they're going to improve as well.
And generally, overall, I mean, how did you feel that did you feel that the team were lackluster right across the pitch?
100%. From the start, there was no urgency to win the ball. I mean, apart from the Leicester game where we were quite unlucky, really, not to get any goals, they just don't seem to want to press anybody. We seem to sort of sit back, and it's okay sitting back if we've got a plan for when we win the ball. But we don't even do that. We don't counter attack anymore. We just, we're harder to beat, people keep saying, but we're still getting beat. If we're going to win the ball in the defence, we need to play it forward quicker and then get the ball out and start taking chances. But it just doesn't seem to. I mean, I'm not blaming Arteta, but under Unai Emery, at least we were scoring goals. Yeah, we were conceding a few, but we were still scoring. Whereas now it seems like we're better at defending, but still can't do it right.
Well, I mean, we're 8 games in. We've only won 50% of our games and lost 50% of them, and we're on a -1 goal difference. I mean, that's, I suppose we've got used to that sort of nonsense over the last few years. But Arteta must be either scratching his head or getting a little bit worried at this point, maybe. But when you think that you've got teams now already, moving away at the top there, and this win could have really, if we'd have won today, it could have really helped us sort of push on into that top 4. But now we're sitting around 11th place. I mean, there's still time. We still can catch up, but we're making it harder for ourselves, aren't we? Losing games at home against Villa and Leicester, especially when we go and beat Man United at Old Trafford in the way that we did. It must be quite confusing to Arsenal supporters.
I don't really understand that. I mean, we wait so long to beat a so-called big team, Big Six team, and then what do we do the next game? We seem to sort of underestimate our opponents and just, I don't know, we sort of think, we beat Man United, so this doesn't matter now. We'll rock up and it'll all work out, and it didn't happen. I don't understand what's.
Yeah, big mistake. No, carry on. You carry on. Yeah, it's absolutely fine.
I mean, another thing that winds up as well, I'm not blaming Bert Leno for some of the goals today, but I mean, I think he's kept. I don't think he's kept a clean sheet this season. I think he must have been 1, maybe 2 in the Premier League. I don't know. I mean, I think Martinez has kept more clean sheets at the Emirates than what Bert Leno has this season, and that's insane. I mean,
he kept another one tonight.
All on him, but
just not for us. No, you can't, because I mean, look, the keeper can only do what he can do. He's the last port of call, and if a keeper makes a mistake, it's a goal. If a defender makes a mistake, he's still got the keeper behind him. So I suppose in some respects, I mean, we can. Gabriel has been brilliant for us, and yet he was at fault for leaving the player on side for one of the goals. But we can't dig him out really. But I think all across the pitch, I agree with you. I think we were fairly poor. Aubameyang looked sluggish and slow.
Aubameyang just doesn't seem on it at all. I don't know what's happened with him, but he doesn't seem. I don't want to say Thierry Henry, but when we were struggling, we had a player like Thierry Henry who would get the ball and go, right, that's enough now, right? We're scoring a goal here, I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Whereas Aubameyang doesn't have that effect this season. He's not, even with Sanchez, I know he's not everyone's favourite, but when he was with us, it was the same thing. We needed something, and he was that man that would produce it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Mesut Ozil, I don't want to bring him into it too much, but I mean, what is he done wrong that he can't get into that team? The creativity in our team was. I know Partey had to go off, because of his injury, but what more do you want? Ozil's a creative player. Yeah, he doesn't turn up every day, but you couldn't have done any worse than what happened then.
Yeah, not quite sure with Ozil. I think there might be something a little bit deeper running there, maybe something political. I don't know, but it looks like we need. When you look at the likes of Grealish and Barkley and the like, for Villa, they had very penetrative midfield, and they were able to sort of slice us open and switch the ball backwards and forwards. It looked like we were lacking that. So do you think we need one of those sort of midfielders, someone who can be creative and someone?
100%.
Do we have somebody in the club like that? If Ozil wasn't there.
I mean, Partey's obviously the one we brought in to try and sort of take us from defence to attack. Maybe. I mean, Aaron Ramsey he was brilliant at it when he was at Arsenal, and then no one liked him anymore, and all of a sudden he moved on, and we wanted him back. We wanted him to stay.
What about Martinelli? Really. I mean, Martinelli's going to be due back probably by the end of the year.
I'm looking forward for him getting back. I mean, even put him through the middle, to be honest with you. I mean, he'll do a job.
Yeah.
I mean, Willock, I think, again, he's still developing. He's not, Premier League starting 11, I don't believe yet, but he's got the potential there. Unless you put him in there and give him a go, you're never going to find out. I mean, Emil Smith-Rowe's another one that, he can play that sort of that midfield role as well.
Yeah. It's certainly going to be interesting to see what Arteta does now, because obviously he's got a dilemma now. He knows he's got to start. The team's got to start scoring goals, and we've got some great players, but getting them to work as a unit, and they certainly didn't do that tonight, is going to be something I think he's going to have to take back to the drawing board in some respects, Chris.
I mean, if I said to you, name a starting 11 for the next game, could you get it right? You probably couldn't, could you?
No.
I don't think. No one knows who we're going to play with, and that's not. I get how you have a Premier League team and a European team, or cup team sort of thing, but you can't name apart from Leno, who seems to be getting picked obviously every game. Other than that,
sure.
I don't think you can name a starting 11, whereas most other teams have established that now. So they know they can trust in them players. But I don't think. I don't think we're there yet.
No, I don't think we are. I think we're way off, and they need to give Arteta time. I still believe in Arteta, and as I'm sure we all do. It's going to be an interesting season to see what actually happens, and if they go and get anybody in January to try and bolster the midfield, especially the attacking part of it. I think other departments we seem okay, but there are definite departments there, I think, that need some change of personnel. So again, it'll be interesting to see, with them giving Arteta the time, that how things work out. Now, I've noticed that you're wearing a greenish colour T-shirt there, but I also noticed the cannon, and I noticed the poppy underneath the cannon. Do you want to tell us just quickly? Do you want to lift yourself up like that so we can see you? There you go. And it says "Lest we forget" underneath. Now, do you want to explain very quickly why you're wearing that T-shirt?
So I am the chair of the Arsenal Armed Forces Supporters Club. I'm in the military myself, and we wanted to raise some money for the Poppy Appeal and the taxi charity. So I worked with Gav from She Wore. I know a lot of people wear his stuff, and we designed these T-shirts and put them on sale.
Mm-hmm.
Just to raise extra funds. Obviously, with COVID around, the usual fundraising isn't happening. So we do our bit.
And you had a consignment of these T-shirts. Now, how well have you done with these T-shirts?
Done pretty well. Yeah, I've not got all the numbers in yet. I'm waiting for the final invoice from the guys who did the embroidering, and then I can push that out. But yeah, I think around 80 odd shirts, I think.
Okay, and you ordered so many, and you've pretty much sold out of those shirts, apparently. Is that right?
Yeah. So a lot of people keep asking, oh, can we still get one? Are they available? Unfortunately, we're not having any more made now because you won't be able to get them in time for Remembrance.
Right. Okay.
But next year we'll be looking to do something. So make sure you keep an eye out and keep involved, and then you won't miss out next time.
Well, obviously, Chris will be doing something with you fairly soon. And so obviously, once lockdown is finished, and you can get a couple of your Arsenal supporting pals from the Armed Forces Arsenal Supporters Club. Now, very quickly, you don't sound like a London boy to me. How did that happen, Arsenal?
So I was actually born in Scotland because my dad was in the Air Force, and then I moved to Germany when I was quite young. And then literally, I was just watching the football with my dad, and I just said to him, "Oh, who should I support?" And he goes, "Well, what colour do you like?" I said, "Well, I like red." And he goes, "Well, they're playing in red, support them." And it just so happened to be the Arsenal. I think I was about 5 years old at the time, and then that was it. Signed up to be a junior gunner, and then never stopped.
That was it, and that was it. It's that simple. I mean, we've got Tim from Canada, whose mum went to London and brought back West Ham shirt and an Arsenal shirt. Gave his brother the West Ham shirt and gave him the Arsenal shirt. And obviously, his brother's been a long-suffering West Ham fan ever since. At least Tim's had lots to shout about. But your story is just as fascinating. Thanks for sharing that with us, and obviously thanks for sharing the fact that you're raising money as well for the taxi charity and other veterans charities with the sale of your T-shirt. And I think people out there should be looking out, hopefully, for next year's one. Well, we'll do it in plenty of time, but because of the way that this year's gone, it couldn't get any worse, could it, really, for everybody? And at the moment, it couldn't get any worse for Arsenal. Let's hope at some point they start getting a kick up the backside from the likes of Arteta and whatnot, and start going back to the drawing board and doing what they need to do to start winning games again. Because after all, this is Arsenal we're talking about. But thanks for joining me, Chris, and thanks for telling me about the charitable side of things. And we'll catch you on the next review. Thanks for joining us. This is your first review, so hopefully it won't be your last. Thanks, mate.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Cheers.